favorite game show.
Do you mean Wheel of Fortune?
I'm talking about Quiz the DIBBS.
All right. We've had some phone calls for people wanting to play. It's not for you, listeners.
I want to play. What do they want to ask me?
I know. I don't know. If you're new to the show, this is the first 2025 edition of Quiz the DIBBS, so it's all good. I understand, listeners. You're not used to this yet, especially if you're our new listeners to the Rob Dibble Show, and we thank you.
Absolutely.
We do it every weekday, 3 to 7, as long as we're not bumped by baseball, but you're welcome to tune in at any time. And listen on the iHeartRadio app. Make us one of your presets.
It's free.
It's free. Quiz the DIBBS is a game we play with Rob Dibble where these baseball guys, man, they just have a knack for remembering baseball. They don't know where they put their keys. They don't know what they did last night, but they can tell you what that count was and what pitch they threw in 1991 and who was in the ballpark and what kind of night it was. It's just wild. It's weird. And what we do is we take some baseball cards, give Dibs a little bit of information, and see if he knows what baseball player we are talking about and what card or who is on this card. Now, we are going from a great set of cards that Mr. John Ashmeads, young super producer that's working the video today, he dropped this box set of 1990 scores, which I have priced several times because I just want to see if it goes up. Hasn't increased in value over 2 years, John, but I think you can get a box set of score for $9.99.
Yeah, that's about right.
Doesn't have much value yet. If you piece out the cards individually, though, I don't know. You might be looking at $10.75. Good. So what I've been doing with this box set, I have not been like some of the listeners that have sent us cards over the years to play this game. I try to go through them with a fine-tooth comb. In this 1990 set, I close my eyes, I reach in, and I grab out a color of cards. It's separated in blues, greens, oranges, and reds, and I got a batch of greens today without looking. And I would say, Dibs, I got probably 12 cards in my hand, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. 4 cards I pulled out of the 12 of guys that I have heard of. 8 of the cards are not known by yours truly. Now, and I told Kurt when we went to break, this may be one of the most difficult early sessions of Quiz the DIBBS that we have done. But you always amaze us with your knowledge of your friends from the 90s, especially in Major League Baseball. But I'll let you pick since you are from afar, which makes it even better because there's no cheating this way. No way, no how, as Dibs is in Florida right now doing this Quiz the DIBBS session. But I'll let you pick. Do you want to start with the 4 or one of the 4 that you may know, or at least I know of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start me off with some stuff I may know the answer to.
Now, I did not know this guy played for this team, and I have been a fan of him since I was a kid because my grandmother was a huge Atlanta Braves fan. She grew up in Atlanta. I did not know this guy played for the Cardinals. I'm talking about their third baseman in 1990. He was in the Cardinals for a while, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. This guy, at the time's career totals, he was batting around 263. Chubby-looking face. I thought he was a chubby-looking guy when he was on the Atlanta Braves. But do you know this third baseman Cardinal that I speak of?
Terry Pendleton.
Give him a ding. Right off the bat, you are correct.
Well, you said chubby and Braves. And he's also my teammate when I was on the Marlins in 96.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. He like this card, I think chubby because like in the late 80s and 90s, all you guys were super skinny. Like Eric Davis, man. Eric Davis like a supermodel.
We were poor.
That's what
No, so
that's what
funny thing, so this is in 88, I think, and, you know, when I was a real idiot, and I must have thrown about 10 fastballs in a row, and the catcher, every time I tried to shake him off to get a breaking ball, he just kept, like, you know, angrily putting down one, and I'm like, what the F is going on? And so finally he put down a slider, and Pendleton got a hit. and William McGee came in to score, and I picked up his bat. I'm famous for that. I threw it up against the backstop and got in trouble. So, yeah.
I've never seen this one.
Yeah,
awesome.
no, this is one of my early things that nobody's really ever. So I'm kind of giving away some info here, though. But I got fined for throwing the bat, but it slipped, and thank God, the hand of God, he knocked it down from going over the back of the net because the netting wasn't that high. God, could you imagine? That would have been a bad start to my career.
Even more money than that fine.
So, yeah. So Terry Pendleton had a good laugh about that. Well, because when he was with the Braves, he was a tough out. And don't you remember he used to wear the soccer shin guard on his arm? That was like the early version of the pads that they wear today.
That's what that was the soccer shin guard. I thought that was like something the Braves had. Like that was Brave issued. And
from their soccer team.
Wow, that's great.
Football.
Always learn something on Quiz the DIBBS.
I know.
All right, this is a guy that is back to the pile. We're still in the pile that I know this guy. This guy I know now, but I never knew of him. I'm talking about a Pittsburgh Pirate that I did not know much about until we did a Quiz the DIBBS, I would say 4 or 5 years ago with this gentleman. Now, he is a usual suspect in any kind of pack of cards in 1988 through 1992. And when I see his face, I don't even want to tell you position, but I know this is going to give away. When I see his face, I only think of him saying to you, "I love it when you talk dirty to me."
Oh, my God.
Catcher.
Junior Ortiz?
Dang! Yes. Junior Ortiz.
He's not saying it to me. He's saying it to Rick Reardon, or not Rick Roden.
Tom Reardon?
No, who's the big dude? Oh, God. I didn't know we were going to do this today, so. Rick Russell.
What happened?
So Russell went on to go to the Giants, and Rick Russell, he was out on the mound, and as Junior's walking towards him, he's like mother effing him, get back behind the plate, blah blah blah, and he pulls up his mask real slow. He goes, "I love it when you talk dirty to me." And he turns around and he goes back.
Every time I'm like searching through cards and like Junior Ortiz's face pops up, that's the only thing I think of him saying is, "I love it when you talk dirty to me."
Oh my God! Because listen, my Latino teammates were the funniest humans I've ever been. It's like Luis Quinones being naked next to the bus driver in Nashville. "Bussy, I'm so hot. Can we open the windows?" And it's things right in the guy's face, and the guy's like, he almost crashes the bus. That was a daily occurrence, man, with a Latino player on your team.
All right, to the pile of people I don't know. Let's get a little tough here. You're 2 for 2. So far, so good. Now, I just like this guy's look. I'm talking about a big right-hander from Milwaukee. Just a monster-looking guy. He has pitched for the Brewers at this point since 1985. He had a couple of good years, pretty much a 500 guy. He does start games. Looks like he is a starting pitcher, and threw a couple of complete games over the years. Big man, big righty. Let me see some dimensions.
Bill Wegman?
Wow. How
no way.
in the heck did you get that?
He's my teammate. I played with the Brewers at the end. And he's one of my favorite people, too.
Well, he's from Cincinnati. He was born in Cincinnati.
Well, no, that's like Tim Belcher's from Cincinnati, Pat Tabler's from Cincinnati. A lot of guys are from Cincinnati.
Is Bill? What's different
Kevin
about
Youkilis.
this guy? This guy just looks like a guy. Like he is.
Dude, he is your best buddy. He and Kevin Seitzer were best friends, but nobody ever fought more than them. And again, you have to understand, when you're with someone every day for months and months and months, even if you're best friends, you're going to fight. Like brothers and sisters, you fight. And these two cats, they fought like there was no tomorrow. That's why we had, I've told you this Brewer story, you had a non-personal bus where you could say anything you wanted to each other. By the time the bus got to the hotel or the stadium, it was over. You could never bring it up again. And those two were crazy, absolutely crazy, had to be held back all the time. And I was just like, you guys are lunatics, man. You're crazier than any team I've ever been on. Because it was you had Pat Listash, and Darrell Hamilton were best friends, but on that bus, they weren't. And it was just like you'd sit there and marvel. Like,
wow.
It's funny. I was just looking up this thing of people because I was trying to cheat. People you may have forgotten from the 90s. Johnny Jaha pops up.
Oh, yeah, Johnny
And
Jaha.
he was my teammate. Very few guys have ever been stronger than Johnny or quieter. And he would sit in the back. And you know those little shooters you get on airplanes?
Yeah, nips.
We had a dry team, so you couldn't drink.
The Brewers.
Old Johnny, yeah, and you're in Milwaukee. And old Johnny in the back of the bus would be just secretly drinking those nips and laughing, but not speaking. And I always have loved Johnny Jaha. Oh, my God.
All right, 3 for 3 so far. Let's get a little tougher. Maybe you played with Wegman. You're on the Brewers. But
I just threw that out there because you said big.
He is big. He looks like a Brewer.
Dude, he's a Here's the coolest thing about Billy. So he begged Phil Garner because he was going to retire at the end of the season in '95. He said, "Hey, Skip, can I play an inning in the outfield before the season's over?" We were like 20 games out of first place.
Yep.
And Phil Garner let him play right field. I think a ball got hit to him, and he played right field for a half inning.
Awesome.
And, yeah. So. Yeah,
That's
because the way you remember, we used to talk about this power shagging.
Yeah.
Most of the pitchers still thought they could play the field, and we would run around crazy in front of the outfielders till they had enough of it. But he was one of the craziest power shaggers I've ever seen, where you got extra running in.
Here is an outfielder for card number 4. You're 3 for 3, and I made it National League to try to make it easy.
Thank you.
I have not heard of this cat before. Now, he was a Cardinal all the way up until 89 when he joined the Philadelphia Phillies. Looks like a speed demon kind of guy, real svelte guy. He bats left, throws right, originally from Jackson, Mississippi. Any idea who number 24 running around in the outfield for the Philadelphia Phillies was back in the late 80s?
Oh, my God.
Oh, the picture that I have on the card, he is going long sleeves. It looks like he is a man from the South that does not want anything to do with his northern weather.
Oh, number 24. I know who this is because I think he's the one that rounds third when Paul O'Neill kicks the ball into the infield and stops.
Bonus clue, our producer shares a namesake with this fella.
John?
No, not John. The
Nick?
other one. No, not that one. The other guy.
Alec?
No, the what I'm looking at right across from
Kurt?
me. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, that throws a wrench into the deal. Kurt. I can't think of it.
Kurt Ford.
Man,
Do you know
dude.
anything about Kurt Ford?
Honestly, no.
Wow, I got him on one. One. Yes, 3 for 4 today. Kurt Ford from Jackson, Mississippi. I didn't know anything either, Dibbs. That was from the pile. I have no idea who these people are. Kurt Ford, Philadelphia Phillies. Probably listens to the show. Probably lives in Glastonbury.
I'm sorry, Kurt.
All right, here's one I know you know. And Kernan mentioned his name already on this program today. I did not know he pitched for the Cleveland Indians. Great looking smile. Before the Indians, and that's what they were called, he had a split season where he was a Royal, and then he was a Cleveland Indian. Then pitched for the Royals from 82 to 87. Also started his career with the Seattle Mariners in 1981. And this year, basically a 500 record. This pitcher, number 40 for Cleveland, 70 and 71 with a 3.7 ERA. Basically average. Originally from San Mateo, California. Do you know who this pitcher is from the 90s? Big lefty.
Beard?
Chuck Finley?
No, not Chuck Finley. No beard either. At least no beard here. Has been mentioned by Kevin Kernan.
I don't remember what Kernan was talking about if he had mentioned this guy.
Talking about the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, Bud Black.
I didn't know he was a pitcher. I'm sorry.
Oh, Bud's not big, though.
No, not big.
Bud's not big.
No,
That's why you threw me with the big.
Little guy. I never said big. I think you're just still thinking of Bill Wegman. He had the one thing about this card, though, Dibbs, is like he's got a long step, Like, he's there.
Bud, hey, listen, Bud had some nasty stuff, dude.
Really?
Yeah, Bud, he may have had 500 record stuff, but that guy could pitch. A lot of those guys back then, well, he was 6'2". Yeah, when he was a Royal, and I remember him as a Royal in the mid-'80s. Yeah, he won a World Series with the Royals.
Yep.
He won 17 games a year before that. I remember him with Danny Jackson and Cone and that whole crew. Those guys were filthy.
All right, final one here. Do we got time for one more? All right, Kurt says time for one more. Now, this was a third baseman for a long time with the Montreal Expos. Basically all through the 80s, he was your third baseman, Montreal. A batter that was right above 250.
Tim Wallach.
Golly.
Hit a home run off me.
No way!
Yeah, he did.
He's one of the few.
Yeah, he's a nasty son of a gun.
No one talks about
great
Tim Wallach,
guy.
man.
I've got a Tim Wallach bat because he hit a home run off me. I asked him for one.
Awesome.
But he used to rope doubles as hard as anybody off of me off the wall.
I mean, stereotypical baseball type, like 220, 6'3",
yep.
Huntington Post, California. Like, this guy is just
like
built
Mike
for
Marshall.
baseball. Yeah.
No, your typical white cast baseball player guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but what a nice guy, though.
Really?
I mean, yeah, one of my favorite. Honestly, one of my favorites. Like Jack Clark. I mean, go back and look at some of the dudes I had to play against. Kevin McReynolds, Jack Clark. So many of those dudes were like 6'2", 220. You know,
he had the most putouts at third base 6 times in a season.
No, those Expos were nasty, man. They had Gary Carter on the team.
Yep.
They had Andre Dawson, Tim Raines, first home run I ever gave up in the big leagues, opposite field to Tim Raines up in Montreal. No,
Tim Wallach has the most RBI in a season for the Montreal Expos.
I don't doubt it, dude. Dude could rake. That guy could.
Did you know Tim Wallach? No, none of us knew who Tim Wallach was. Let me put this card. Sorry.
Dude, no. Absolutely, he was one of the toughest outs I ever. That's one of those that escapes me every time somebody goes, "Who's the toughest out you ever faced?" That guy. I mean, I think of Marquise Grissom because he hit 500 off of me, but damn, Tim Wallach, I didn't want to see that cat coming up.
I love that. Tim Wallach. I won't forget Tim Wallach after today.
No, do not. That guy was a player.
Heck yeah. All right.
But he was surrounded by Hall of Famers. Raines is a Hall of Famer. Dawson was a Hall of Famer. Carter was a Hall of Famer. Jeff Reardon should be in the Hall of Fame. Jeff Reardon was the closer on that team. You had Pedro Martinez was on that team. You just one after the other after the other. You had a lot of really good guys on that team. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. What do you want to do next?
We got some draft chat. We've been holding off on some NFL draft chat.
NFL draft chat.
These Giant fans are getting antsy right now.
The secret pro days. I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just going to do a personal pro day with one team. This kind of sounds kind of bizarre.
In the dark of night.
All right, so we'll talk about the draft, some of the picks that the Giants, Patriots, and Jets have. Next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Kirk Kaplan on the ones and twos. John Ashmead is back there on our YouTube channel.
91.